Hi, I'm Mark, and on this channel I talk about UK politics and Brexit from an outside view, although I do know the UK from the inside as well. The race for the next Conservative Party leader after their crushing election defeat promises to be amusing. The process of electing a new Conservative Party leader is of great importance, as it not only determines the internal leadership of the party, but can later also have a direct impact on the entire political scene in the UK. And this is especially the case when the Conservatives are the governing party, as the elected leader usually also becomes Prime Minister. Not at the moment, but who knows. And when the current party leader, such as now Rishi Sunak, announces his resignation or leaves office for other reasons, the official process of electing a successor begins. Any member of the Conservative Party MPs can stand as a candidate, provided he or she has the necessary support within the party. Usually, a candidate must have a minimum number of supporters to be officially nominated. This minimum number is set by the so-called 1922 committee. That's a body that plays a central role in the inner party organization. The 1922 committee consists of Conservative backbenchers, that's MPs without government office, and organizes the entire election process. After the candidates are officially nominated, a series of votes follow, which are only carried out by the Conservative MPs. In the series of secret ballot rounds, the Conservative MPs vote on which of the nominated candidates should become the new party leader. In each round, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated, and this process is repeated until only two candidates remain. These ballot rounds are often characterized by tactical voting. For example, MPs might vote for a candidate who's not their preferred candidate in order to prevent another candidate from being eliminated. Once the ballots within the parliamentary group have been reduced to two remaining candidates, the next step takes place. These two remaining candidates are put to a vote by Conservative Party members. Party members who do not necessarily have to be MPs are given the opportunity to vote for their favorite by postal vote or online. Before the vote, the two candidates usually run quite an intensive campaign, presenting themselves to party members across the country and setting out their political visions. The candidate who receives the majority of party members' votes is elected as the new leader of the Conservative Party. And the whole process is designed to take into account the opinions of both the parliamentary group and what you can call the party base. And this is to ensure that the elected leader has broad support within the party, which is usually crucial to his or her legitimacy. As the Conservative Party has traditionally been one of the two major political forces in the UK, the election of the party leader often has a profound impact on national politics and can influence the course of the country to a significant extent. The process for electing a new party leadership in the British Conservative parties is this multi-stage process that now begins with the nomination of candidates by the parliamentary group and continues through those rounds I told you about until we come to the final results. And this process reflects the intra-party democracy and ensures that the elected leader has broad support both within the parliamentary group, that's because of the first steps, and among the party members. And since the momentous Brexit decision in June 2016, the once very disciplined Tories have spent at least as much time on intra-party disputes as on governing the sixth largest economy in the world. Liberal conservative internationalists, right-wing law and order supporters, nationalist hardliners, the party broke into groups and in cliques that foolishly called themselves research units or even families, like the mob or what we call the mafia. The opposing camps enthusiastically attacked each other, eagerly encouraged by the medias, and which blew up every anonymously spread joke into the news. The head of the 1922 committee, to which all the Tory backbenchers belong, think that this is over, and there have been significantly fewer of them since the general election in early July. Just 23.7% still wanted to vote for the oldest party in the world. And its 121 seats in the House of Commons represent less than a third of the number won under Boris Johnson in 2019. And the 1922 boss, Bob Blackman, wants to discipline this more manageable group using so-called yellow cards. Anyone caught being malicious about people from their own ranks should be publicly exposed. The hunt for evildoers is likely to keep Blackman busy for some time, but he already has enough to do on other fronts. Blackman knows the list of 2 women and 4 men who are running to succeed Sunak. After the parade in the local party associations over the summer, job interviews, so to speak, in the parliamentary group, and the speeches at the party conference in Birmingham, 2 will then go to the primary election of around 150,000 paying party members. And the new leader is finally to be decided at the beginning of November. The process, which will last a good 3 months, is certainly also about content. Recently, for example, 3 former party chairpersons appealed to the incoming leadership that they must under no circumstances water down the ambitious British climate goals. The trio will come up against a brick wall with the current favourite Kemi Badenoch, though. The former Trade and Economics Minister wants to postpone the decarbonisation of the British economy beyond even the current 2050 mark. And the other right-wing hardliner in the race, the former Home Secretary Priti Patel, recently even argued for a complete pause in climate policy. And the third right-winger in the race, former Secretary of State Robert Jenrick, is relying entirely on his reputation as a tough guy on asylum issues. He has been campaigning for himself for months, but remained loyal to Sunak during the election campaign, and so many from the nationalist camp who had previously supported Suella Braverman have defected to him. She said goodbye to the race with a column in the Tory House paper Telegraph. Since people always speak badly of her, she does not want to lead the party. In reality, the twice fired minister had no chance because she had criticized Sunak several times during the election campaign. And this is considered unforgivable even among the Tories, who are used to trench warfare. In the British majority voting system, elections are won in the middle. The Liberal Conservative Tom Tugendhat and Melvin Stride are reminding us of this iron law and are thus campaigning for the votes of the moderates in the group. And former Foreign and Home Secretary James Cleverly, the third child of immigrants in the race and a favorite of the party people as a lieutenant colonel in the reserves, is also presenting himself as a reconciler in the middle. But will Blackman's appeals for fairness and the threat of yellow cards bear fruit? Anyone who has read the British newspapers recently may doubt that. They are fond of reminding people of Jenrick's unclear role in the awarding of a fraudulent multi-million-pound contract during the COVID pandemic. Kemi is crossing a multi-lane road looking for a fight, said one parliamentary colleague about the well-known argumentative Badenoch. And another was quoted as saying that Patel was partly responsible for the election defeat because of her liberal immigration policy. And now she comes along as a convicted arsonist and wants to water the roses. Well, those indeed are happy prospects for the journalists, but there will be a lot of grey hairs for Blackman, many more than I already have even. But if you want to know more, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.